Yeah, I like to give people a chance to turn off their cameras if they want to. Anyway, you guys, can you believe it's Memorial Day this weekend? I always thought it was the last weekend of May, but they stuck it in early this year. So crazy, go figure. The only thing I have to tell you on my list, and this is a surprise that I don't have much to tell you. Oh, I actually do have two things to tell you. The first thing is that next week we have a jam, and our theme is travel songs, and we need song leaders. I say that every week, but we do need song leaders, okay? The week after is quarantine, and we will not have a jam that weekend, but I'll remind you of that. I just want to give you a heads up. We have a jam next week. We don't have a jam the week after, okay? And if you want to be a song leader, please, please, please let me know early in the week. And then the second thing is Mary Ann Wolford is on the song list. She was number 7. She was going to do My Country 'Tis of Thee. She has a Windows 11 operating system, and we have not been able to fix that for her. And so she decided that she'd rather not play today. And she just wants us to have good sound. Marianne, thank you for your graciousness. So we crossed her off the list. So we'll go from Carol Crocker to Jamie Mayhem, but I'll keep you posted on that. And right now I'm going to share my screen because we're going to go to, if I get it right, we're going to go to No Frills. We'll start off with No Frills. And on the scroll, Scotland the Brave is up there. That is not, I was checking that out for Dennis, but that's, whoops, that's the wrong place. That's not where we're starting. We're starting here with Shady Grove.
It's time for
No Frills.
Today is Shady Grove. What a hauntingly beautiful song. Before we start, we need to get our capos at the first fret, right there. And when you put your capo down, I like to lay my finger all the way across so it's equally placed. And then listen to that beautiful tone.
Very nice.
If you have a thunk, thunk, thunk when you're playing it, regrip. Put it all the way down like that, and then you'll have it equally placed. All right, Shady Grove. Let's play it old school style, which is the No Frills 1.0. All quarter notes, all half notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. That Shady Grove. Oh, good. You got rid of the 1.0.
Yes.
Good. Now we're in the plus one.
Yes.
Shady Grove. And with that dotted quarter note, I go out and out. And that comes all the way through the whole thing. Also, instead of going like we just did, we have that run attaching the 2 and the 4.
Yeah, that adds a lot to
It does. It does, rather than just chunky like that. That was easier and that was very accessible for people. But now you've got your fingers moving. All right, let's play the A part one time. 1, 2, 3, 4. That continues that same Shady Grove, that same feeling of that mnemonic of shady carrying you through there. And a lot of repeated sort of runs. I call this part more like an interlude. It's not played everywhere. A lot of people play the A part and continue it with a chorus, verse, back and forth. But I'd like to throw in this little thing just to break it up a little bit, like an interlude.
Using that mnemonic really helps keep the rhythm.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Way.
Yeah, it does.
That's what it's best for.
Best for. I agree.
Yeah.
All right. So the B part one time. 1, 2, 3, 4. I love this lyrically and slow and beautifully. I can't even imagine it playing it da 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 that fast.
I think you'd lose the emotion of it.
Yeah, it's just haunting and beautiful.
Yeah, it is so beautiful.
All right, A twice, B once. Go back to the A twice again. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Are a lot of the joy of playing this.
And they're traveling lyrics too. Like I started to sing Peaches in the Summertime.
Yeah.
That's peaches in the summertime, apples in the fall. If I can't have the one I love, I'll have no one at all.
Yeah.
They're traveling lyrics. You might find those lyrics in June Apple, and so they're just kind of interchangeable. One set of lyrics fits all, one size fits all. Well, that was a good one. I hope you enjoyed playing with us, and we will see you next time.
What do you think?
I think we can find enough bloopers in the other one.
You can find enough bloopers in the other one for the rest of the year.
I should keep a blooper file.
She should keep a blooper file. I look forward to the bloopers, I have to say. So, we always have our wonderful song leaders, and when they can't be with us, they make recordings for us. And Carolyn can't be with us again today, and she recorded this song, Those Caissons Go Rolling Along. That is an old song. I remember that from a long time ago.
Hello, Set in the Music, and
Oops.
happy Memorial
Let me
Day
turn her
weekend.
up.
We're doing patriotic songs today, and I came up with a song. I found a song that I used to sing in elementary school in music class, and our music teacher would have us march around the room in a circle singing this song. It's The Caissons Go Rolling Along. It was written in 1908, and it's the unofficial U.S. Army song, and I'm sure some of you remember this song. So I will play it through as tabbed, and then there's I'm gonna sing 3 verses. There's lots of different verses for this song. I kept finding more verses, so I just picked 3. And when I sing, I'm just gonna play the chords, and I'm capo 3, and the chords in it are, there's a G, a D, so G is open, D, a C, an A, but I'll try to keep it relatively slow. It's a little tricky. So here we go. There's a little intro. 1, 2, 3. we go. Over hill, over dale, as we hit the rusty trail, and those caissons go rolling along. In and out, hear them shout, counter march and turn about, and those caissons go rolling along. For it's high, high, ye in the field artillery, call out your numbers loud and strong, and wherever you go, you will always know that those caissons go rolling along. To the front day and night, where the doughboys dig and fight, and those caissons go rolling along. Our barrage will be fired on the rocket's flare, and those caissons go rolling along. For it's high, high, ye in the field artillery, call off your numbers loud and strong, and wherever we go, you will always know that those caissons go rolling along. Was it high, was it low, where the hell did that one go, and those caissons go rolling along? Was it left, was it right, now we won't get home tonight, and those caissons go rolling along. For it's high, high, ye in the field artillery, call off your numbers loud and strong, and wherever you go, you will always know that those caissons go rolling along. Yes, those caissons go rolling along. Happy Memorial Day.
Oh, thank you, Carolyn. So sweet. And you know, that's such an old song, and it's not one that we hear very often. I'm going to close that out because that's our last video. Can you believe it? I'm going to stop the share for a second because when I change this, I have to change to a different way. Right there. Okay, and we want this lovely lady, Carol Crocker.
Hi.
Okay, now I have to turn my audio down a tiny bit, but don't worry about it. I got it.
Okay, I'm pushing my microphone away then. I wish I could change it, but it won't let me change it. I've tried and tried and tried.
Good. I just want to remind people who are listening, if it's too loud for you, try turning your computer down because you have some controls as well as I do and Carol does. So, and we can't regulate it. We've got 57 people signed in, so hard to keep it right for everybody.
Right in, yeah. I don't know why this Revelator mic will not let me adjust it.
So I want to make sure that people know that you did this song last week. You're a Grand Old Flag, but we had a different tab. And Carol started to play it and said, "Ooh, this is hard tab. This is not my tab." So she sent me the update, which I did put in the Dropbox, but she's going to do it the right way for us this week.
The right way. I like the way you said the right way. Yeah. Okay, so yes, I'm not so sure it's the right way, but it's a little bit easier. The tab that I had last week was in the key of G, which is okay for singing. But when you play in the key of G, it's a little difficult without a capo, and you have to have a 1.5 fret. And so it was a little interesting last week to do that one. I tabbed it for my group so that we don't have to change keys or whatever. So this one now is in the key of D, which I think is singable in the key of D. And you don't have to have a 1.5 fret except on the second page. On the second page, last measure at the top, there's a 2 1.5. Look where there's now if you don't have a 1.5, just go 2 1 1. That'll work. 2 1 1. Okay. All right, here we go. And by the way, I told you the history last week. George Cohan wrote this in 1906, and it was for a movie, but a musical that he had written. And actually, this became one of the first songs from a musical, kind of to hit the nationwide top 10, the most played songs. So this one got to be quite popular. Originally, the name was, or he thought, a grand old rag, R-A-G, from meeting an old veteran who had a flag that was very tattered, and he called it the grand old rag, but people didn't like it. So it became the grand old flag. So here we are. Intro. Oh, turn my camera down. Oh, and Manny Cam is not acting right today. So I think you'll see my face in here, but it's tiny. There it is. Okay. Here we go. Ready? Intro and... You're a high-flying flag, and forever in peace may you wave. You're the emblem of the land I love, the home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats true 'neath the red, white, and blue, where there's never a boast or brave. But should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on the grand old flag. You're a grand old flag, you're a high-flying flag, and forever in peace may you wave. You're the emblem of the land I love, the home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats true 'neath the red, white, and blue, where there's never a boast or brag. But should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on the grand old flag. One more time. The red, white, and blue, where there's never a boast or brag. But should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on the grand old flag. So that's your grand old rag or your grand old flag. And it's interesting that this one and the next one are both from musicals by George Cohan and written not too far apart from each other. This one in 1904, that one in 1906. And they both use tunes from our American folk, or not our American folk history, but folk music. This one, the other one had Should Old Acquaintance Be Forgot. This one has Yankee Doodle Came to London Just to Write. That's got Yankee Doodle in it. So both of them actually utilize tunes from other sources. So Yankee Doodle Boy, and this is also a different name. You might find it under Yankee Doodle Dandy. I think he had it originally as Yankee Doodle Boy, but everyone changed it eventually to Yankee Doodle Dandy. It was easier. So you may find it under both titles. Here we go. Intro. I'm a Yankee Doodle dandy, a Yankee Doodle do or die, a real life nephew of my Uncle Sam, born on the 4th of July. I've got a Yankee Doodle sweetheart, she's my Yankee Doodle joy. Yankee Doodle came to London just to ride the pony. I am that Yankee Doodle boy. One more time. I'm a Yankee Doodle dandy, a Yankee Doodle do or die, a real life nephew of my Uncle Sam, born on the heart. She's my Yankee Doodle joy. Yankee Doodle came to London just to ride the pony. I am that Yankee Doodle boy. All right, Yankee Doodle boy.
Quick question for you, Carol.
Uh-huh.
If you were going to play a third stanza of that song, what would you use for the interlude? You always do an instrumental interlude.
I probably would have used the. I may have used that. No. I probably would not have used that. I may have picked that up, or I may have picked up. I may pick it up from the beginning and go. And play a little of that and go back to singing. But midway through, yeah.
Yeah, I always love it when you give us ideas about interludes.
Yeah.
And tidbits about the songs, too. So I twisted Carol's arm. I told her that I had to hear her sing America the Beautiful for us. So
okay. And I will tell you, vocally, I've been, for the past, and I know you all know, I've had sinus issues for the past, I guess, 4 or 5 months, since January, February. So my singing voice has suffered a little. It's not as clear. Finally, my sinus issues are getting better, but it's still taking a little time. So I'm not sure I can sing those high notes. I might drop down an octave. So. Beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains, majesties above the fruited plain. America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for pilgrims' feet who stirred in passion stress, a thoroughfare for freedom's beat. Oh, I can't sing it. The wilderness. America, confirm God, men, thine every flow. Confirm thy soul in self-control, thy liberty in all. Beautiful for patriot dream that sees beyond the years. Thine alabasters cities gleam, undimmed by human tears. America, America, brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Wrong notes and everything.
Oh, Carol, thank you so much. It's lovely to hear that song. And I want everybody to know that Carol has family stuff to do, and she decided she would come and sing for us as long as I put her on early. So consider that done. Now, Cindy,
Oh, thank you.
thank you so much. I really appreciate everything you do for us.
Oh, you're welcome.
I'm just, I'm checking. Cindy sent me a note. Let me see. I'm sorry, Carol. I get distracted. I can only do one thing at a time. Cindy, I think. Well, let me check with Jamie, who is on the list next. Jamie, how about you wait until after the mystery guest? Would that work for you?
That's fine. I'm easy to work with.
Okay, you are easy to work with, for sure. Okay, I'm going to stop my share here and come back. Cindy, did you resolve that problem? Can you tell by the pictures if the person has...
Her camera's off. Let me see.
Cindy's having trouble finding the mystery guest because there are two people with the same name. Oh, here. She just came
That
into
was wrong, the name. So here we are.
Here we are. Okay. So let me just do this. And let me tell you guys that we are so lucky. We have some people who are just so good to us. You know, our song leaders are good to us, and I don't want to minimize that at all. But finding mystery guests is a bit of a challenge sometime. And this particular person who's coming to be with us today spends the winters in Florida. And so I get to cross paths with her. And when it came to the Mount Dora Festival, I cornered her and I said, how would you like to be the mystery guest again? And she said, any time. So here she is. She just drove back to New York. It's Susan Trump. Hey, Susan.
Hi. Hey, hello, everybody.
It is so nice to have you here as our mystery guest. I'm trying to get this into speaker view.
Thank you.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Dennis Harris is clapping. People are clapping for you because we love you, Susan.
Ooh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, thanks so much. And I see some of my housemates from the Mount Dora Dulcimer Festival, as a matter of fact.
Yes, you do.
And everything that goes on there stays there. We have a lot of fun down there, don't we?
Yes, we do. That's for sure.
Yeah. Nice. Well, it's so nice to be back. Thank you so much for inviting me again. I really love to play for you all. So today is Memorial Day, and it seems like you guys have a lot of the patriotic songs pretty well covered. So I thought I am going to do a patriotic song, but also I thought, well, you know what? Memorial Day is the beginning of the summer, and other times when I've been on played for you all, it's been more in the winter. And so I thought I would start out with one of my kind of signature summer songs. It's called The Haying Song, and it was written by David Mallet, who was a phenomenal songwriter. His music, it's just poetry. It's just beautiful, beautiful poetry. He makes the most beautiful images. And I also want to mention this little picture right behind me is the artwork from my very first recording, which started out as a cassette. And when I wanted to turn it into a CD, I needed a better artwork. So I found this artist and I said, I sent her the cassette. I think this is so cool when art crosses over. I sent her the cassette and I said, do with your artwork what you hear in my music. And this is what she came up with. And there's the haying song, there's a little hay, stacks of hay there, and I'm going to sing Grandfather's Barn, and it's all in there. So you can kind of think about that while I'm singing a couple of these songs for you. So this is the Haying Song by David Mallet. It's one of my favorites. And, all right, here we go. When the raspberries burst from the woodbine, when the summer lies close to the ground, when the porch is the fit place for young kids to sleep, and the brook in the hollow dies down, then with straw hats and wagons and horses, like young Tim and tired old Dan, we'll head for the field to the creak of the wheel, with a pitchfork that blisters your hand. 'Cause you have to make hay when the sun shines, that's what all of the hill people say. Just keep your load wide, keep your eye on the sky, make sure it's dry when you put it away. I remember the chaff on the back of my neck, the cool at the edge of the trees, and you rest for a time, talk about the weather, and you drink from the spring and get mud on your knees. Then it's back to the wagons, it's back to the mow, 6 loads in and 8 more to go. And it's biscuits and beans for the late supper meal, and there's nothing like beans when you're working, you know. 'Cause you have to make hay when the sun shines, that's what all of the hill people say. Just keep your load wide, keep your eye on the sky, make sure it's dry when you put it away. Tis the season of clover and killdeer, it's the time when the earth does her best. It's when all men are strong and the work days are long, and you know when to rise, you know when to rest. And in the cool of the evening I'd perch on the load and let the wagon wind blow through my hair, count off the stars, talk to the moon, and sing to myself in the sweet summer air. Hang on at the corners and duck from the branches, and sing to myself in the sweet summer air. 'Cause you have to make hay when the sun shines, that's what all of the hill people say. Just keep your load wide, keep your eye on the sky, make sure it's dry when you put it away. The haying song. I love that song. I have the interesting, I was smiling at the end of a couple of verses there. At that part where it says, drink from the spring and get mud on your knees. I was playing this in a like, I don't know, it was kind of a bar, but in New York City, but in the back of the bar, they had it all made up like a library, and it was like a pub kind of thing. And there was a woman in the back of the room, and when I said, drink from the spring and get mud on your knees, she just looked at me and gave me a big high sign like that. And found out later her name was Bridget. And every time I sing that song, Bridget's in the back of the room giving me that high sign, and makes me happy. So, let's see. I'm going to switch dulcimers here. This is a lovely instrument made by Gary Sager. And my baritone over here somewhere else is Gary Sager baritone as well. And this is a song that It's called Grandfather's Barn. And I learned to play the guitar on my grandparents' front porch swing. Now, I spent my summers in Ohio in a tiny little town called Brinkhaven. And so it was 1985. I was going through this book that I had gotten. It was called Home Life in Song, Poets of Today, published in 1898. And I found this poem called Grandfather's Barn. And it reminded me of those times in Ohio. So I put a chorus to it and put it to music and liberated it from the pages of that old tome. And I'll sing it for you. It's got a great chorus, so if you want to sing along at home, feel free. Times in Grandfather's barn, memories of childhood all around. Good times in Grandfather's barn, memories of childhood all around. Now don't you remember our grandfather's barn, where our cousins and we met to play, where we climbed on the beams and the scaffold so high, or tumbled at will on the hay. How we sat in a row on the bundles of straw, and riddles and witch stories told, till the sunlight came in through the cracks of the south and turned all the dust into gold. Good times in Grandfather's barn, memories of childhood all around. Good times in Grandfather's barn, memories of childhood all around. Then we played hide and seek in each cranny and nook, wherever a child could be stowed. Then we made us a coach of a hogshead of rye, and on it to Boston we rode. Then we played store, sold barley and oats, and corn by the bushel or bin, and straw for our sisters to braid into hats, and flax for our mothers to spin. Good times in Grandfather's barn, memories of childhood all around. Good times in Grandfather's barn, memories of childhood all around. Then we played we were biddies, and we cackled and crowed, till Grandma in haste came to see if the weasel was killing her old speckled hen, or whatever the matter might be. How she patted our heads when she saw her mistake, and called us her sweet chicken dears. Then a tear dimmed her eye as the picture recalled the scenes of her own vanished years. Good times in Grandfather's barn, memories of childhood all around. Good times in Grandfather's barn, memories of childhood all around. Grandfather's barn. What great
Susan, you're
childhood
gonna have to make sure you read all the comments in the chats, because
Okay.
people, I don't know if you can see, they're sending hearts and clapping hands and
yeah, I see some things going on.
yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. Well, we found a way to applaud without, making a sound, so people are showing their appreciation there. But
Oh, Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I will be happy to read those. I will look forward to it.
The other thing I want you to tell people about that dulcimer.
This one?
Yes, that one.
Okay. Just let me check the tuning because the Haying song is in D, G, D. And the rest of all my songs are in D, A, D. And it would be really nice fits in tune. Yes. Good. This dulcimer is made in 1989 by a maker in Brockton, New York. His name was Dennis DeRogi, and it's Brazilian rosewood on the back. And I don't think you can even get that anymore. And I think it's spruce. Yeah, I think spruce on the top. And it has a hand-carved scroll. If you can see that, it's, yeah, hand-carved out of rosewood. Now, rosewood is really hard. And this man used to teach fine arts at Youngstown University in Ohio. And then he moved across the border to New York State. And it's just a wonderful instrument. I really enjoy playing it. So I'm going to continue with one of the iconic tunes for the mountain dulcimer, which we all know and love, called Simple Gifts, the Shaker Hymn. And I'm going to put a little variation in it as well, because I can. Okay, so Simple Gifts. Simple Gifts.
Susan, one of the comments is you made the music come alive.
Thank you.
You know, a well-known song like that, and you just made it awesome.
Well, thank you very much. I'll give you a little hint. When you're playing, when you're singing a song, the lyrics will help you know how to interpret it. But when you're playing an instrumental, it's whatever you're imagining when you're playing it comes through in the music. And so when I'm playing instrumentals, it's quite entertaining to be in my head. I have lovely little movies going on, you know, like some of the most beautiful places I can think of, and it helps. So when you're playing your music, think about your favorite things, and it'll help as well. But thank you. Thank you so much. Let's see. Oh, another sort of standardy kind of song is Cripple Creek. And I've been busy since I saw you last. I've written not one, but 2 books for Mountain Dulcimer. And Pat said I should show you guys this when we were doing our sound check. She said, hold it up, show them. Bluegrass finger picking for the Mountain Dulcimer. And it's just a really fun little technique because you put the melody on the middle string and then the outer strings become drones. And it sounds really cool and it's not hard. And then you add some hammer-ons and pull-offs. Anyway, it's just fun, and you can play it slow and sweet, or you can do some fancier stuff with it. So I thought I would play some Cripple Creek for you. So here we go. Is actually in my book, and it's got some simple songs, so you can I take you through it so you can kind of teach you how to do it with some simpler songs, and then we got fancy versions. It's really quite fun. So let's see, my little nod to Memorial Day today is a lovely song. It's called Johnny's Gone for a Soldier. And I remember first hearing this sung by Peter, Paul, and Mary. And it was very popular during the Revolutionary War. And traditionally, men went off to war, and the women stayed home and, did what they could for support. But one of the things in the old days, women would sell different goods, home goods, to buy military supplies. So you'll kind of hear about that in the third verse. But it's a real... nobody likes to see anyone going off to war. And this song has been around at least since the 17th century. It's called Johnny's Gone for a Soldier. Here I sit on Buttermilk Hill. Who could blame me, cry my fill? Every tear would turn a mill. Johnny has gone for a soldier. Me, oh my, I love him so. Broke my heart to see him go. Only time can heal my woe. Johnny has gone for a soldier. I'll sell my clock, I'll sell my reel, Likewise, I'll sell my spinning wheel to buy my love a sword of steel. Johnny has gone for a soldier. Here I sit on Buttermilk Hill. Who could blame me, cry my fill? Every tear would turn a mill. Johnny has gone for a soldier. Well, that was a song about a soldier, and we don't want to leave out the sailors. So I'm going to play you a little hornpipe. And this is from my book, my other book that I wrote this year, Hornpipes, Not Just a Dance for Sailors. Now the sailors, I don't understand why they needed more exercise than running up and down the rigging, but they had this dance that they used to do on board the ship, and it was like a step, hop kind of dance. And the rhythm in the song, in the hornpipes, is kind of long, short, long, short. And it's really fun to play. So I'm going to play one called Off to California. And I would love to tell you that the history of this came about when in 1849 the gold rush happened and everybody was off to California. And I would love to tell you that that's the history of the song, and that is entirely a figment of my imagination. Has nothing to do with reality. This song has been around for a long time, and there are parts of it that may be part of a little Irish song here or there. I learned it from the playing of, I learned to play it on the banjo first, and I learned it from a woman from Massachusetts, a Boston area, from Lorraine Lee, who used to be she was one of the earliest people that I knew that played dulcimer, and she also plays banjo and harp. So I learned this one from Lorraine, and it's just a really fun little tune. Off to California, with a long, short step, hop, and it doesn't go real fast, because if you think about it, it takes a certain amount of time if the sailor hops up for him to come back down, and you don't want to play it too fast. You don't want to wear them out, you know. Off to California. Fun little tune. These tunes are really fun to play.
Susan, somebody asked where they could purchase your books.
On my website, which is www.susantrump.com. And I have them, you can get them either a hard copy or you can get a digital copy if you'd like to put it right into your tablet. It comes both ways for your playing pleasure. Thank you. Thanks for asking about it.
Yeah.
Okay, I just got one or two more. And
well, before you start, I want you to tell people about your very busy summer.
oh, Okay. Yes, actually, first thing coming up is in the beginning of June. We have the Quarantine Festival. What, in a weekend or two? There are loads of instructors. Oh my gosh, that is the best thing. Lots of seats available in a lot of different workshops. I'm doing 2 workshops on songs from the Revolutionary War. And one of them, I think the advanced beginner one, still has 5 seats left. The other one might be sold out. But there are all kinds of instructors. I think Lori has got some classes, and Carol Crocker. There are loads of wonderful teachers. So do check out the Quarantine. And then in June, I'm going to Kentucky Music Week. And I started going to that in 1992. Not to date myself or anything, but... and in July, I'm so excited to have been invited back to Dulcimer U, Larry Conger and Elaine's lovely week-long festival in Cullowhee, North Carolina. And in August, the beginning of August, I was invited back to the Gateway Festival in St. Louis. That'll be fun. And, in September, the North Georgia Dulcimer group has their Zoom festival in November, but they wanted to kind of put their toe in the water to get started doing something in person. So in the beginning of September in Helen, Georgia, they're having a weekend, Friday and Saturday and maybe Sunday, a little weekend festival, and it's coinciding with Helen, Georgia's celebration of Oktoberfest. But it's September, so maybe they're using a different calendar, I'm not sure. But at any rate, that's going to be really fun. That'll be Stephen Seifert, Bing Futch, Mark Allen Wade on hammer dulcimer, and me. They might have another hammer dulcimer player, I don't remember. But if you have Mark Allen Wade, you don't need anybody else, really. Anyway, I shouldn't have said that. Well, anyhow, I did. So I'm going to be a little busy and really enjoying it. And it's so nice to be able to get out and see people in person. And it's just a wonderful thing to have the 2 options of Zoom, where we can all meet from the comfort of our home, and also have the in-person encounters, which are just great as well. So one of the people that really helped get some of the, she started the Mountain Dulcimer Festival in Florida. I call it the Mount Dora Festival, and I think we all do, but it's the Central Florida Dulcimer Festival, a Dulcimer and Auto Harp Festival. And it was started, I'm not sure, 17, 18 years ago maybe, by Ruth Harnden. And Ruthie had this dream that she wanted to get all the dulcimers out from under the bed and out of the closets and get them playing music. And so she started this festival with Carol Lee. And it's still going on. And Ruthie passed away very shortly after the last festival in February of this past year. So I would like to play a song for Ruthie and all the people actually that spend a lot of time and energy, and the volunteers to put on a festival, or like Pat, who works hard to put this on every week. And without these people, we would not be able to share our music, any of us. So thank you to all of you. And this is an instrumental called Ruthie's Dream. Maybe I'm going to do this again. I'll get it right the next time. Promise, Ruthie. Ruthie's laughing.
So sweet and tender. Oh my goodness. Just
Thank you.
lovely.
Thank you. Do we have time for one more song?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Along the same lines of thanking all the volunteers that make our music possible. This is an unaccompanied song that I wrote, I'm not sure when, but I had been reading this wonderful book called Kitchen Table Wisdom. And I read this little story, and it was a story of a medieval bishop who was talking to 3 workers, and they were all doing exactly the same job. And he asked them each exactly the same question, and he got 3 very different answers. And it's a song I call The Stonecutter. A man was chopping at a stone. I asked him what he did. He said, I cut these stones to size, just as my master bids. I am a lowly stone cutter, this bitter man did cry, and I'll be working at this job until the day I die. A man was chopping at a stone. I asked him what he did. He said, I cut these stones to size, just as my master bids. I am a loving father and a husband to my wife. I shape these stones the best I can to give them a good life. A man was chopping at a stone. I asked him what he did. He said, I cut these stones to size, just as my master bids. He raised his eyes unto the skies, his vision shines so clear. I'm building a cathedral to last 1,000 years. Building a cathedral or cutting up a stone, we make these choices every day at work and in our homes. Throughout our lifelong journey, wherever we may roam, we're building a cathedral or cutting up a stone. Thank you very much, everybody. And thank you to all the people who make this music possible. And thank you to our veterans and all the people who have given their lives and spent their careers keeping us safe, keeping us free. And thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Susan, that was absolutely a wonderful set. And thank you so much for coming back. I'm going to ask you again.
Thank you.
Not tomorrow, but you're on my list of people that we love to see.
Oh, thank you so much. And I'm going to stick around and listen to the rest of the songs because it looked like a great song list.
It is a great song
and
list.
you guys have so much fun.
Yeah. Thank you, Susan.
Thank you,
so,
Pat.
so much.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay, you guys, I am going to share my screen. I have to get myself back on track here. Okay, share. And I have to find Jamie. Oh, there she is. Oh, Jamie, I have to apologize for putting you on after that wonderful set. But you've got wonderful music, too.
Well, that was something special, I'll tell you.
Wasn't it? Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness. It just makes me smile.
All right, now I got to warn everybody that we're going to tune down to D, F sharp, A. So if you're going to play along, let's start tuning. And so you're going to turn your middle string down to F sharp and your melody string down to A. Don't go up and snap strings on me. That's not good. But while you're doing that, I will tell you a couple things about this tab. Now, I was telling Pat before we got started today, I tabbed this out a number of years ago when I was just starting to tab things out. And this is another one of those big band era songs that has all these funky chords in it, right? So that's why we're retuning to D, F sharp, A, so we can get some of that chromaticism in there. But if I were doing this today, I would probably do it much different. It would be simpler. But I didn't look at it early enough in the week to go, oh, I should redo this. So you're stuck with what we have today. But to that end, I did highlight the melody line in yellow highlighter because the melody does jump across all three strings a little bit. So this is not one of those songs that you can strum all three strings. So just kind of warn you. And some of these chords are going to sound a little dissonant to our ears because we're not used to typically playing those on the dulcimer. So anyhow, I'm hoping everybody's kind of ready. And I'm going to go pretty slow. And we've got a nice intro. And this is over there was written by Cohen, and now we've done several other his songs earlier today. But this one is normally done a little bit more of an upbeat march. It was kind of a, an inspiring song. I can't play it that fast, so we're going to slow it down and play it a little bit more like a ballad. But anyhow, I'm going to quit yapping and get to it here. And Pat, I do apologize because this is 3 pages, so I'm going to kind of give you a heads up because my foot pedal isn't working.
Because I go to sleep sometimes. No, I just get distracted. But I am going to pay attention now that you told me.
Well, I'm going to have to stop and turn the pages myself because my foot pedal is not working. So, so when I pause, that's a page turn.
Okay, got it. I got it.
All right. All right, that's just such a pretty sound, this tuning. Page. I gotta turn my page. Here's the chorus. Page turning. Chorus. All right, I'm only going to subject you to that one time through instead of repeating.
So Jamie, as you got to the chorus, I was picturing James Cagney dancing across the screen, singing that song.
There you go. There you go. That's appropriate. All right, so the next song, we're going back to regular tuning. And I'm cheating. I'm just changing dulcimers. And it just so happens that this next song, I picked this one out because I noticed that we had Battle Hymn of the Republic coming up later, and I thought, well, we'll just represent both sides, right? And after I picked the song and sent it in to Pat, I realized, this is about a steamboat. It really isn't all that patriotic, but we're going to play it anyway. So, but this is another one in 2/4 time. Ooh, that sounds a little bit better. And I hope everybody is retuned by now. All right, so the count on this one is 1, 2, and 1, 2, and. It's essentially has a 4/4 time feel, but it's counted a little bit differently. So, and this one has, you'll notice in the tab, it's got a 1.5 indicated, and then they do have written in there though workarounds. So if you don't have the 1.5, I think most of the time they just jump up and play the 2. So I'm gonna try not to go too fast. Again. Waiting on the Robert E. Lee.
That has a real honky-tonk sound to it.
Kind of does.
Those little runs in there. Fun. And perfectly appropriate for the day. Thanks, Jamie, so much for helping us out this week. Oh, look at who it is. The breezes have blown in Lori. Lori, you've been gone so much, and we are used to seeing you on video, and it is so nice to have you here in person.
I was almost gone today.
Well, I'm glad that you rethought
You even
it.
sent me a message like, are you really coming? Because it is the weekend of the annual Florida Folk Festival. This is the 74th annual festival over in our favorite Florida park, Stephen Foster Folk Culture Center State Park, where the Stephen Foster Dulcimer Retreat is in November. In the Memorial Day weekend, it is ablaze with wonderful talent from across the state and everywhere. And I'm going tomorrow, taking some grandkids, and enjoy the day. And I think it might rain some too, but that's okay.
Well, thank you for going tomorrow, Lori.
Yes. So I've got a couple tunes today. First one, When Johnny Comes Marching Home. Patrick Sarsfield Gilmore was a Union Army bandmaster, and he wanted to write something that was giving hope to the folks at home with the desire for their loved ones to return home safely. So this was the song that he put together in 1863. Now, Susan just did the hornpipe, and she was long, short, long, and that's almost the way I treat this, as I will another song too. Let me aim my camera a little bit down. Get your capo on 1 for this one, and just be freewheeling when you play it, and we'll enjoy it. 1, 2, 3. Going and hit the strings whenever you feel like hitting them, and change your left hand to make it comfortable as you're playing it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. comes marching home.
So, Lori, I was singing The Ants Go Marching One by One.
No, I know. Trust
Remembering
me.
that from my childhood.
Trust me, that one hits my head too. And also another one later on has other lyrics as well.
Yeah.
This next one that is coming up is the Navy hymn. My father was in the Navy in World War II, and I'm happy to honor him with this song today. This is a beautiful song that is in the hymnal that I grew up with, and it was originally. It was the original. The song is written. The melody is written by John Dykes in 1861. But Reverend an Anglican Reverend, the Reverend William Whiting, survived a really furious storm and came out of that with this, save us from peril on the sea. I want to read the lyrics in case you don't see it. Eternal Father, strong to save, whose arm does bind the restless wave, who bids the mighty ocean deep its own appointed limits keep. Oh, here's when we cry to thee for those in peril on the sea. Now, those are the original lyrics, but they've been some upgraded lyrics, and I want to give you a more modern one that includes more branches of the service. O Trinity of love and power, our brethren, shield in danger's hour, from rock and tempest, fire and foe, protect them wheresoe'er they go. Thus evermore shall rise to thee glad praise from air and land and sea. In 1861, when this was first penned, there wasn't much air travel. The skies were a little clearer. So anyway, this is a challenge for me. It's in DAA, and I chose to put it in DAA because I want the chromatics that happen around the 6 and a half, 7 frets. And now I'm going to change my view again so you can see. You will always hear me, oh yeah, just play DAA on the middle string. Not on this one. This one uses wonderful I don't have it there. That shape, that triad shape that through DAA works so beautifully. So anyway, you'll see that worked in here. Let me pull it up so I can see it. There we go. 1, 2, 3. I have my wrong dulcimer. Here I'm going DAA, and I'm the dulcimer. Why didn't anybody go, Laurie, you have your DAD dulcimer in front of you. No wonder those little triad chords didn't sound right when I was demonstrating them. Yikes! Oh well, here we go. that line again. Oh, oh, hear us when we cry to thee, for those in peril on the sea. And I'm playing it one more time just because I think we have time and I want to try to get it right. It's such a beautiful hymn, and it really needed all those chromatics right in through that part, and I just love leaning into that. It was a challenge.
So, Lori, you know
I'm so
what?
DAD focused.
Yeah, I noticed though that you slowed it way down, which made it doable, and that's always a good strategy. You know, when you're struggling with something, you just remind me of that.
And it's for those in peril on the sea. You're not going to be marching around singing it fast, you know. I mean, yeah. Okay. Now we're moving on to a song that has a varied past. It started out as a hymn from the Methodist hymnal, and the song was then "Say, brothers, will you meet us?" And then that was the music by William Steffi in 1856. Then it became a very popular tune of the day in the 1860s, John Brown's Body. John Brown, the abolitionist, and this was a song that was sung with his name included in it. And as I read, the soldiers would sing it with gusto because it was kind of a catchy tune and they really liked it. And Juliet Ward Howe and her husband and a minister were visiting. They were touring army camps during the Civil War in Washington, D.C. And the fellow that she was with turned to her and said, "I sure wish this song had other lyrics." And she said, "I've always thought the same." And so I got to read this, that so the next morning she went to sleep thinking, I've got to come up with some other lyrics. The following morning she later described it that she woke in the gray of the early dawn to her astonishment found that she had the wished for lines were arranging themselves in her brain. I lay quite still and the last verse had completed itself in my thoughts, and then hastily arose saying to myself, I better write this down before I forget it. So here it is. Now this is one that I wrote in the top here. I said play with a swing strum, kind of a long short. One might see it written out as dotted eighth notes with 16th notes after it, and I want to try to make things, you know me, no frill style, try to make things as least complicated as possible. So I figured we would just mine eyes have seen like that. Okay, here we go. 1, 2. I'm not in the right dulcimer. Oh my goodness, Susan, how did you trade so many dulcimers in your set with us and be able to keep track of which dulcimer you had in your lap and what you were playing next? Good job. Susan's set was lovely. That sounds right. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. challenge each of you when you, after today, not even to look at this page and see if your finger can follow where your ears are telling it to go. Because I'm not even, there's too many dots and numbers on this paper for me to chase after, and so I'm just letting my fingers flow, and I challenge you to do the same thing. Let's play it another time or two. 1, 2, 3. There we go, a little majestic finish.
One of the things I love about Sending the Music is we get the old familiar tunes and the new tunes. There's always something new, and that Navy hymn was that for me this week.
Well, one thing also, Pat, is because everything is theme-based, we're reaching out of our comfort zone and finding songs that are appropriate to themes. These songs I don't play, although I have played the Navy hymn before because it's just gorgeous. You know, it gives us a chance to reach out and bring new music into our repertoire.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
We are going to California. Pack up your bags. Hey, Dennis.
Hey, I heard that song somewhere.
Hey, Dennis, or the... You heard what song somewhere?
We're off to California.
Off to California. Oh, I got it. Okay.
Just heard
I'm
it.
a little slow on the upkeep here. Okay, you have some interesting music for us. Some old and some new.
Well, Scotland the Brave's pretty old.
Yep.
I'm not quite sure how old.
And more familiar than Wausau the 42nd. I mean, that is really okay. So, okay.
It's a surprising one, but yeah,
Yes.
let's get the Scotland the Brave first.
Okay.
In 4/4 time, by the way, it works great in 3/4 time too, so I'll get that next. But 4/4 time, it's... Now, the way the song is supposed to go is to go really high up on the first string, but I've lowered it down to play on the middle string. let's go on to the waltz version of it. So when you do the waltz version, it just helps to, in my case, I can have my fingers play a waltz progression, which is just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You can also strum that time. All right, Scotland the Brave, 2 ways.
Well, that actually sounded easy when you did it, Dennis. It was not easy when I did it, but that sounded great.
Yep, well, the fingers kind of set the tone, or the strumming set the tone, and then you just fit things in as you can.
Okay, so this one has 1 page of music and lots of...
And 1 page of writing.
Yes.
Well, on the writing page, it says this. Now, I was unable to actually see if this ever had, or the tune to it ever has its own specific name. But I was unable to, so I saw that it had versions, one called Wausau the 42nd, which was a reference to the British 42nd Regiment of the famous Scottish 1st Battalion Black Watch. And in other names that came up were March Past. I didn't get any reference to that. Then Wadna Fetch for Charlie, or Wadna You Fetch for Charlie. Okay, so it goes back to Brownie's Fetch Charlie. And then one that was kind of curious was one that Nigel Gatherer found called Wausau the Cotton Spinners, from back in the 1880s when they had a strike in Glasgow. Now, there's some terms in here that I'm not I'm not sparing anybody as to what the meanings are, or I'm not holding back on the Scottish accents or dialects or whatever. But there's going to be a term called the Broomy Law, and it's a Glasgow dock from which troop ships sailed. And then tatty hawkers is mentioned, and they're potato farmers, potato diggers. And, well, you got to have provisions when you bring the army, so I threw those in this particular version that I made. And then there's something called the Wappenshaw, and the Wappenshaw is just a military parade. And it's kind of a good name for it because it's, they're making a big deal for some reason. All right, anyway, Wausau the 42nd. And I'm going to violate the dots on the thing and just do the first verse, second verse, or part A, part B in that order all the time, and mix it up a different way. For instance, what I'm going to do is sing the thing just to a rhythm, so that the rhythm will be with the strings muted. Then I'll get into the song. So anyway, the song or the tune itself is. Trick here. I'm playing the melody on both the bass string and the treble string. Wausau the 42nd, Wausau them Kangawa, Wausau the 42nd, marching down the broomy law. Some had killed some of them had kilts on it, some of them had none at all. Some of them had tartan trousers, marching down the broomy law. Wausau the tatty hawkers, Wausau them Kangawa, Wausau the tatty hawkers, marching to the broomy law. Some of them had boots and stockings, some of them had none at all. Some of them had a wee drop of whiskey for to keep the cold away. Some for the 42nd, Wausau them Kangawa, Wausau the 42nd, gang to the Wappenshaw. Some of them had chappatatties, some of them had none of all. Some of them got barley bonnets, going to the Wappenshaw. 42nd, wah, saw them gang a wah. Wah, saw the 42nd marching to the broomy law. Some of them had tartan trousers, some of them had none of all. Some of them had green umbrellas marching down the broomy lawn. Saw the 42nd, wah, saw them gang a wah. Saw the 42nd marching to the broomy law. Some of them had tartan tories, some of them had none at all. Some of them had those green umbrellas for to keep the rain away. And it never resolves, so we just have to keep marching.
Dennis, I like what you did with that, with the strumming, because it would be really, really hard to sing and play that. It's just so different. It was great.
I was getting that way myself. That's why I did it.
Okay, and you have one more for us.
Right, and just talking about the 42nd, it was pretty obvious, I suppose, that some of them had none at all. So there was a pretty ragtag group there, but they got the warring done, or whatever they did. Okay, I'm going across the mountain. This is a song that I heard a recording of Frank Prophet do. That'd be Smithsonian Folkways. Do patronize them. They're great. And unfortunately with his singing, it's really hard to tell what he was singing, and the melody just didn't hold. So I just picked something that seemed to be something he hit some of the time and made this up. I've heard other people give it a try and they picked out different elements of his melody, but this is mine. And something else to note is that I have part A, which is my particular introduction to this whole song, and it just seemed like it's a piece that sets the march. Okay, you got to set the march on this thing, because that's pretty much what it is. And then the verses just go by the B part. So look it up. All right. Cool. And another little surprise too, I should have gotten onto this right away, is that it works better singing for me if it's capoed 3. There's the surprise. So in slow motion, and then the melody is going across the mountain. Oh, fare ye well, going across the mountain, you can hear my banjo tell. And then 2 of the A parts. my back, a powder it is dry. Going across the mountain, Chrissy, don't you cry. Well, I'm going across the mountain, join the boys in blue. When this war is over, I'll be back to you. Well, I've got my rations on my back, the powder it is dry. Going across the mountain, Chrissy, don't you cry. Going across the mountain, if I have to crawl, gonna give old Jasmine a little of my rifle ball. Way before it's good daylight, if nothing happens to me, I'll be way down yonder in old Tennessee. I expect you'll miss me when I'm gone, but I'm going through. When this war is over, I'll come back to you. Going across the mountain, oh fare ye well. Going across the mountain, oh fare ye well.
Dennis, you outdid yourself.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
oh, look at all the hearts. Thank you.
Three great songs, really, and a lot of new stuff in there. I know you've done Going Across the Mountain before, but just yeah. So, and Susan has a couple of comments for you too, so make sure you read those, Dennis.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and I have a couple of tunes for you guys. I am doing. Go figure, Dennis Harris's version of Keep the Home Fires Burning. And I just want to tell you, last week, I did that finger picking thing with you, and I put my notes, I changed them so that I changed the numbers to letters, and it's all up in the Dropbox, and I'm going to leave it there. But while I play today, you might notice some of the things that we talked about last week, using the middle string to get the melody. On this particular song, Keep the Home Fires Burning, I, who don't remember very much about melodies, woke up last night with this in my head. So really an earworm for sure. Okay, and let me see. You can see that. And I need to put because I have to turn the page. This always gets hard. Okay, so this is Keep the Home Fires Burning. Ah, off. Here we're coming to an easier part now. Till the boys come home. Now, I just want to say, I told you last week that the melody is the the master. So, and the melody's down here, so those notes have to ring, and that's why I kept correcting myself, so that I made sure I had the melody. One more time, and then I'm gonna go on. So. I'm laughing at myself because I've practiced this so many times. If I was sleeping with it, you know that's true. I got it that time. Woo. Keep the home fires burning. Really like the song. I wish I could play it a little smoother. Okay, and then I'm finishing up with this song that we all remember. If you grew up in the 60s, you remember We Shall Overcome, and this is Dennis's version also, and he has a couple of interesting little parts in it. Let me get it ready to turn the page. That's my only complaint, Dennis, is that I have to turn the page and play. Ah. I'm going to stop right there because it's 4 o'clock, and it's time for us to say goodbye. And that was just what a nice day of patriotic songs. I don't know if you feel the same way as I do, but it's a good time to remember some of this gallery where everybody is. There you are. Hey, listen, I will see you next week. We're here. Remember, our theme is travel songs. Boats, planes, cars, you name it. Whatever travel you want to do, you can do. I do need song leaders, so please consider being a song leader. Just send me an email. And I saw Susan's still here. Susan, thank you so much for coming. We thoroughly enjoyed the day. And thanks for staying with us. My goodness, that was something. Lori Alsobrook, yay, she was with us again. Dennis, thank you so much. Jamie, Mary Ann, we're going to get that Windows 11 figured out so that you can play for us again. And for the rest of you, please be safe. Have a good holiday. A lot of people on the road, I know. Jean Cunningham, I see her little head there. Okay, guys, I'm going to sign off. I'm stopping the recording. Colleen, take care. Michelinda, take care. Bye, guys.